Hi, my name is Claire and I really like to knit. Today I wanted to show you some of my favorite things that I have made in the end of December and now towards the end of January. Today is the 31st of January and I've already made 5 things. So I can't wait to share them with you. If you like this kind of content, please make sure to keep watching. Okay, so this is my first podcast for 2026 and I've already made so many things since I last talked to you about them. And I thought I'll start with a couple of things I made in the end of December. I finished the year with 51 items, which is quite a lot. Do not take this number as a goal because it is way too much. This year I'm going to be a bit more intentional and do a bit less. But yes, last year I've managed to finish 51 and this year, January 2026, I've already made 5 or 6 more. So let's get started. The first thing that I finished that I want to show you is the Betty sweater. I finished this last year as part of the Betty cowl. So this is a design by Claudia Quintanilla of You We Knit. Yes, she's a Canadian Brazilian designer, I think. And it is so beautiful. I took this on my travels to Hong Kong recently and got lots of compliments on it. So I knit this with La Bien Aimée Baby Kumo in the color Le Bois de Rose. Bois de Rose. I don't know how to pronounce that. So the body is with 2 strands of the little Kumo, which is a Suri alpaca, and the sleeves and the scarf is made with 1 strand. And yeah, it's so soft, it's very lightweight, and the color is just really beautiful. Super, super happy with this one. I had washed it since I came back and it's a little bit ugly. I'm not very good at blocking, but when I put it on, it should be fine. I really like the necktie. Like the body is pretty plain, very simple, but the necktie, that's what kind of gives this design a very beautiful finish. I have some store-bought garments with scarves in the front and I really do like wearing them. It just adds a little bit of sophistication to it. Another thing I didn't show you last year is the November neck that I finished. This is a design by Petite Knit. So it's knit with brioche all the way around. So you can see some buttons on this side and some buttons on that side because it's a flip over collar. And you wear it like this. Gorgeous. I haven't had a chance to wear it yet because I didn't end up taking it on my travels. It didn't really match with the other jumpers that I was bringing. I have way too many different shades of pink and some of them are cool, some are warm, and this just didn't match them. So I have to find somewhere else cold to bring this to so I can wear it because it's really stylish and it's very comfortable. The yarn is so soft. Because it's going to be on my neck, I chose a very soft yarn, and this is the My Yak Baby Yak medium worsted in the color Sweet Kiss. I had 5 balls of it, and because it's got such a short yardage, I thought I would use most of it, but I only used 2.5 balls, and I still have 2.5 balls. So you could have made a small sweater maybe. So I still have another 2.5 balls of this beautiful color. I need to find something to do with it. But yes, I'm gonna rate this one really high, and I think I'm going to really enjoy wearing this one. And the last finished object in 2025 was actually a little shawl knit. I've gifted it. So I had brought along with me to the plane and I was knitting in Hong Kong and I got it finished before New Year's Eve. Did I? Actually, I'm not sure if I got it done before New Year's Eve. I think that's actually the first garment for 2026 because I didn't get it done. So it's a combination of the Purl Soho's True Knit shawl with the shaping of a Sophie shawl. So the Purl Soho is a triangular shawl knit from end to end. You do 4 stitches each side that are kind of curled and then with a little ridge. I can't even remember it now, but it's just a beautiful curled edge and you do increases on one side and decreases on one side. The Purl Soho version is a pure triangle where you increase every other row. And I don't think a triangular shawl will look good on me because I'm so small. So I wanted a bit of a more elongated shawl, and I increased it every four rows. So it created a really beautiful elongated shawl. And the yarn I used was Woolly Yarns Yak. It's 68% yak, 18% cashmere, and 14% polyester in the color Ash of Roses. It's like a really warm grey beige mix, and it was beautiful. It's a blown yarn with chain net and blown. It was so soft, and as I was knitting it, I thought I would gift it to my cousin because I was going to see her in China, and I only see her once every 5 to 10 years when I go back to China. So I gifted it to her, and she loved it. And I think the color looks great on her as well because she has a different coloring to me. So again, I'm very happy with that, and I may make another version at some time or another because I have heaps of that yarn left as well. And then the first big completed garment is the Dogwood cardigan. I had tried to finish this in 2025 but wasn't able to because it's actually, I brought it on my travels with me as well, but it's actually quite a bit of work, especially with this double knitted neckband. So this is a design that I test knitted for Andrea Gaughan, not to be mixed with Nora Gaughan. Andrea Gaughan, and she is a beautiful designer. It's the first time I've made one of her patterns, and I just love the way she treated the test knit and wrote the pattern. She seems to have a very methodical brain and engineering kind of brain, and she uses Notion and Slack, and everything is so organized and communication was clear. So I really enjoyed this test knit experience. And the cardigan is beautiful as well. It's just a very classic cable cardigan in a fitted shape. You've got your 6-stitch cable, 1 ridge, and then 4-stitch stockinette, and a 6-stitch cable again. Knit from the top down with a European shoulder. So you start in the back with a trapezoid, increases that way, and then you pick up for each front panel, which kind of tilts to the back. After you got to under the armholes, you join it together and knit it in one piece. And the sleeves are picked up and knitted with short rows. So the sleeve cap is done with short rows. So this is a very popular shape at the moment, and I have made a few things like this, and I design my own things in this kind of shape. It fits well and it's easy to knit. And I think it fits beautifully. And it's going to be a staple piece in my wardrobe, I think, because it'll look nice button up and it'll look nice open as well. The yarn I use is a sport weight cashmere, so it's very trans-seasonal. And the cashmere is from Woolly Yarns. It's a Laura Piana cashmere in the color Peacoat, which is just beautiful. So it's a navy, but it's got little speckles of grey in it as well. After I washed it, it softened quite a bit. And yeah. And then, oh yes, and the button band is of course double knitted, and I chose these buttons and I put a really long shank on it. So you can see like that. Yeah, a long shank, because when the button band is double knitted, you need that distance for the button to sit properly. Otherwise the button band will become very warped. So I'm very happy with this project, and I also cannot wait to wear it. The next finished object is also a test knit. I'm going to put on the mannequin because it is so hot. This is so beautiful. I just love the color combination that I made. I surprised myself with this color combination. This is a test knit for Julia Maria Hegenbart. She's a German designer, and on Instagram she's fine motor skills, but in German. I'm not even going to attempt. So this is a test knit called the Rayan collar. How beautiful is it? So this is supposed to fit under a jacket. It'll definitely look a lot nicer under a coat. And it's a beautiful cable design. I made the back slightly shorter because I was out of one of the yarns. And a nice long roll neck. I realized I don't have a lot of roll necks in my wardrobe, so that's why I jumped at this chance to create a roll neck. I like these. It's going to be better than a scarf. You don't have to have all this excess fabric trying to tangle it, untangle it, trying to figure out how to tie a scarf fashionably. So this one will just sit on the neck really comfortably. Of course, I don't know, when you go indoors in Europe, it's always so hot, then you have to try and take it off, mess up your hair, makeup. So I'm not sure how that's going to go, and I don't have any plans to go somewhere that cold yet, but it's just going to sit here and look pretty for a while. So the yarn I use, the pattern is not released yet, so I'm sure it'll be released soon. Go and follow Fine Motor Skills, I don't know how to pronounce it, on Instagram. And the yarns I used was 3 different strands. I used a strand of Ching Fibers Baby Suri. It's a once-off colorway that was on sale. It's like a purple reddish color. And then I added a strand of red Baby Cashmere. It's actually this red, so it goes beautifully with this purple. And I also added a strand of the Creme Key Stellaris. So it's got a really nice gold sheen to it. It almost looks like a Chinese New Year garment because it's almost Chinese New Year's. Of course, in Australia, it's over 30 degrees and I'm not going to be wearing it. I am really proud of this. It's a unique piece in my wardrobe. I don't have any other colors, so very happy with it. Okay, so many FOs. Another one is the Thneed. I also started this in December. I thought I would have finished it in December, but I didn't, and I didn't take it overseas with me because I ran into some complications. But it is cute, right? So the Thneed is inspired by Laupi Studios. She is on Instagram and she is on YouTube. Hugely popular. She lives in Australia. I'm not sure where she's from, but she lives in Australia at the moment. Beautiful, beautiful girl and beautiful designer. Everything she does is just so stylish. And she makes so many things just freehand, and then she tries to come up with a pattern. And when she posted this last year, I just wanted to start on it straight away. So I didn't wait for the pattern. She is writing the pattern. I couldn't wait for it, so I freehanded it. How cute is it? So her version is DK, and she also added a sleeve, and hers is much longer. I'm not sure when I will wear something that only has one sleeve. I have one cold shoulder. That's not going to work for me. So I made it into a little tank top kind of thing. What I did, the mats, is I measured myself around the bust. I measured myself from here to here, so like a circumference around the shoulder to see how long I want this piece. And then I did a swatch. Shocking, I did a swatch, and I did some mats. Firstly, I needed a top part in the round, like that. And then I did some short rows to create the wedge for the right bust. That wedge there. And then I just joined it in the round. Now initially I was going to go for 4 colors, and then as I was knitting the blue and the red, I really loved the combination, and I thought maybe I would have enough yarn to finish the whole top in just the 2 colors. And of course that was wishful thinking because this is all the yarn that I had. So it was just, if you imagine the pink and the yellow as the red and brown, red and blue, this is how short it would have been. Barely covering the bust. So that did not work out, and I left it and went overseas. When I came back, I was determined to finish it. So I unpicked it and unpicked the bottom part, and I knitted 4 more stripes in pink and gold, and then I grafted this back on because I had completely finished the red and I barely had any blue left. So I had to graft really carefully, and there's only 9 rows in here instead of 10. And if you look closely, you can kind of tell it's grafted because it's a little bit tighter than the rest. But it's not too bad when I'm wearing it. And I actually think that was really good because these 2 yarns are slightly thinner. So it's created waist shaping without myself intending to. So yeah, I'm so happy with this. It's so cute. It's so much fun to wear. However, this shoulder part has stretched out. When I wear it, I do wear it up on my shoulder rather than off the shoulder. So I think on my shoulder it needs to be a little bit shorter. I'm going to either just stitch a little bit of it down like this, stitch it down and shorten the top of the shoulder, or I'm going to insert some elastic because you can see it's stretched out quite a bit here. So either that or add some elastic, but I will have to modify it so I can wear it comfortably. Yes, that's the need. Make sure you follow Laupi Studios and make it when her pattern comes out. And there are 2 more things that I have just finished a couple of days ago, and that'll be my last 2 FOs for January. And they are these cuties. So firstly, we've got the little frill neck scarf. That's what I'm calling it. I saw this on Red Note, which is a Chinese social media Instagram app. And this was all over it. Everybody was making it. I don't know what's called. No one had a name for it. There wasn't a pattern, but there was a lot of people sharing their mats. So I just did a screenshot of someone's mat and I made my own version. You can either wear it like this, like as a neck warmer, and you tie the scarf around and do a little bow in the front, which is a super cute little neck warmer, yeah? With frilly bits. It's a little bit too soft. I think the yarn I use is too soft, and after I washed it, it's a little bit too floppy. It would definitely be better with a much thicker yarn, like worsted or Aran, because that's what everyone else on Red Note had used. You can also wear it as a collar though, like this. A cute little collar, and just folds over by itself and looks really good with the navy, doesn't it? Red and navy. Yeah, so cute. So this was actually really easy to make if you want the numbers or if you want to make something yourself. You may want to change the numbers if you want to use the different yarn weight. So what I did was cast on 11 stitches for the strap and knitted 1.6 meters. So 1.6 meters of the strap, and I did just pure ribbing, slipping the first stitch on each side. So it's like a little belt strap thing. What I next did is kind of wrap the strap around my neck and figure out how fat my neck is. And it was 38 centimeters. So I just picked up some stitches in the middle, 38. So putting half it, find the center point, and then pick up 38 centimeters in your stitch count. After that, so you do the top first and then do the bottom. After you pick up the stitches, it has to be divisible by 3 plus 2. So you've got 2 edge stitches, and then you've got your 3 by 3 ribbing. So do a row of 3 by 3 ribbing with an edge stitch, and then on the second row, you increase 2 stitches in every 3 by 3 ribbing. So it becomes a 5 by 5 ribbing. And then you just knit it down up to the length that you want, which here is about 4.5 centimeters, and cast off. And then do the same on the other side. And that's it. Super, super simple. And I might want to make another one in an A-ring weight, because this one, yeah, it's a little bit too soft. It's just very pretty. But if I want something warmer, I would do something in A-ring weight, and I just have to adjust the stitch count. And then when I was making this, I realized I was missing something red on my head in my wardrobe. So I made a red beret. So I've made the Streets of Paris beret before by drops, and I wear it all the time. It's a grey beret, and I wear it all the time, and it just looks really good. Because I have a really big head, so I can't wear tight hats. I have to wear kind of big hats to make my head look smaller. So beret works really well for that. And the only modification I made was adding a picot edge here. My stitch count was also a little bit different to the pattern, so I added some more increases to here, which gave me a bigger circumference, gives me a bit more drape. But I don't know, I think I may have increased too much because they become little points now. But it still looks okay. And I love it. Okay, I'm back, and I just filmed a whole segment with no sound. But this better work this time. So I'm back because I forgot to pick up my son from the gymnastics class again. And I hope he will forgive me because this is not the first time I've forgotten. Saturday mornings are such a busy time. Anyway, I think I was talking about the beret. So this is the Streets of London beret by Drops. And I love it because I just love red. And I definitely need a red hat in my wardrobe because it goes with everything. Goes with blue, goes with camel, black and white, etc. So yeah, really happy. I've got the picot edge, which is very easy to do. And I also increased the circumference a little bit, but I think I may have done it too much because these have become little angles, but I don't think you can tell too much. And the yarn that I used for these are these two. They're woolly yarns. This is Laura Piana Baby Cashmere. It's a light fingering. And this is Mohair Cashmere Silk and Polyamide. And together they created this beautiful orange red. And I think I would make something with just this one as well, because then even more red, which I love. So beautiful together, but they are a little bit too lightweight for the hat and the scarf because I feel like the frill is a little bit too floppy. So I think I have to make another one in a much thicker yarn. But otherwise, I love this. And I think they'll be really good for light winter, not too cold. And if you saw my last video, you will know that I knitted the Darth Vader jumper for my son. And speaking of which, I don't know why that video is not getting many views. It's just a vlog where I talked about the designing and making of the Darth Vader jumper for my son. But it didn't seem to be liked by YouTube. So please give it some love. Follow the link here because I thought it was a really fun process. So what happened is when we went overseas, my son wore the jumper and then he put it in the washer and dryer without us knowing. And we turned it on in the nighttime, woke up in the morning and it had shrunken 5 sizes and it's completely felted. So it cannot be worn again. In my last video, a very clever viewer said, why don't I make it into a cushion? And that's a great idea. So that's what I did last night. I closed up the hem, closed up the sleeves. The collar is a little bit ugly at the moment. I have to redo that. And I stuffed it with some stuffing. And now it's a beautiful cushion for the sofa. And it's even got arms for comfortable hugging. How good is that? So all's well in the end. We've still got something that everyone can enjoy now and not just my son. And we get to look at it all the time. So that is my last FO for the time being. And I've only got 2 things on the needle, which is shocking because this year, I want to be more intentional. I have so many jumpers and last year I made another 51 garments, which is a lot. Don't try for that number. And I think it's just too much. I was putting pressure on myself. I always have so many things on the needles and feel like I'm not finishing anything and feeling anxious because of that. So this year I'm going to have less whips on the go, so I feel more, so they get finished. And I'm going to make less things, take more time in choosing the pattern, maybe more designs, making sure that every garment is something that fits really well and not something I'm going to want to dye or unpick later. So no instant gratification jumpers. And I think that's going to make me a bit happier. I don't need any more jumpers, to be honest. So the first whip I'm working on is, if this yarn looks familiar, that is my jelly bean vomit yarn. I still had heaps left. So my friend asked me to make her a jumper. And I said yes, because people don't often ask me. And people who do are those who really appreciate knitting and my craft. So I will make it for you if you ask me nicely. And this is the jelly bean jumper upside down because it's easy to hold. I've done the back panel and now I'm working on the front panel. And then I will pick up for the sleeves. The pattern is the Ghost Whisperer by Park Williams. The pattern calls for a lace weight mohair, but I'm using a Aran weight mohair. I think it'll still look very cute because it's knitted on a 6mm needle. So it still works. And it's going to be short sleeves, short bubble sleeves, and an I-cord neck. Yeah, I think she's gonna love it. And my other whip has been on my needle forever and ever. I'm sure it's been maybe 3 months or longer. And that is the Nila jumper by Natasha Hornby. And I'm finally in the ribbing of the hem, finally. This is knit on a fine needle of 3mm. 3mm needle, a lot of texture and lace and twisted stitches, and that's why it's taking so long, because it needs a lot of concentration. But I'm getting there. The hem will be done tonight, and then I'll start picking up for the sleeves. And it's going to be 3/4 sleeves, I've decided. It's a beautiful thin baby cashmere by Laura Piana, bought from Woolly Yarns, in this beautiful color called Azalea Pink. And I think I'm going to love it because it's just such a unique pink. You can't really see it with the top I'm wearing, but it's just the most beautiful baby pink. And I'm going to try to wear it to Austria. Yeah, which brings me to my little travel rant. If you want to hear about my travel, first, before we do the travel rant, what I'm wearing is the Sea Salt Tank by Marzena Kolaczek. So she's an Australian Polish designer, and I made this last year year before in silk by Knitting for Olive, but it was a light grey pink colour that I didn't really like, so I dyed it pink. And now I wear it a lot more. So dyeing is something that I was working on a lot last year, and I probably will be doing a bit more this year. But yes, about my travels, if you want to hear. We just recently came back from China and Hong Kong with the family. So we went to Hong Kong for a week to see my husband's parents and had a great time there. They always spoil us. And then his parents came with us to Shanghai for a week. And Shanghai is where I was born. And it's also the first time I took the boys to go and see Shanghai, and they all had a great time. We had so much amazing food. We had a rented apartment, which is really lovely. And the food was just so cheap and so delicious. And we saw lots of family, appreciated the beautiful history and architecture in Shanghai. If you haven't been, the architecture there is absolutely amazing because of invasions, and anyway, there's a whole history around it. So yeah, we had a great time. Of course, it's a different Shanghai to when I grew up. Back in my days, not everyone had flushing toilets. It was a lot less civilized because it was just post-cultural revolution. So there was big scarcity mentality. Manners was not high on the priority list. But now it's completely different. It is very developed. It's very modern. Everything's so convenient, so cheap, and the technology is so much more advanced than Australia. And people were nice. People were nice and civilized this time. I do hope to go back more often to see family and just enjoy some more time in Shanghai. One week felt a little bit rushed. I brought along some jumpers, and it was really hard because it was quite cold. So I had my jacket on the whole time and couldn't see any of my knitwear except for my beanie. But I do have a couple more trips planned. So we're going to Dublin for a conference in April, and we're going to tag on a week in Portugal. It's going to be about 20 degrees, so I get to wear some trans-seasonal light jumpers, which will be great. And then in June, we'll be going on the Fruity Knitting Retreat in Austria, and Mum and I will be tagging on another week in Austria. So that's going to be cool as well, and I can't wait. And Andrea said, make sure I bring lots and lots of knitwear to show off, and we're going to do fashion shows and all of that. So yes, very excited about all of that. And I just need to find somewhere else really cold to go to so I can wear all my really thick jumpers and thick accessories. Acquisition-wise, I didn't really buy any yarn. In China, I did buy some knit blocking pins, which I never had before. I bought a little I-cord maker, just a little plastic thing. I think it's a bit cheap and looks a little bit dodgy, but haven't tried it yet. I'll let you know how it goes. I bought some Japanese knitting books, but the best thing are these needles. I bought them in all different sizes. So these, I think Knit Pro or someone makes them as well. They are bendy DPNs, basically. DPNs, but with a little bend in it. So it makes knitting sleeves so much easier. And I used it to knit these sleeves, and it was amazing. So I got them in all different sizes, and the quality is really good as well. And if you go on Taobao, it's 1/10 of the price that you will pay for Knit Pro. Yeah, so that's all my acquisitions. And I haven't bought any yarn because I do have a lot of yarn, and I'm going to be more intentional. So I'm not going to just randomly buy yarn this year and then stress out about finding a pattern for it. I hope you enjoyed watching me talk about my knitting. And if you like this kind of content, make sure you click the subscribe button and come back again. See you next time.